Today is Tuesday, January 22nd, the first day of Obama's second term in office, sitting at the North Miami Council Chambers, 776 Northeast 125th Street in North Miami, Florida. To call this meeting into order, I'm going to please ask everyone to stand up for the pledge, but I'm going to call on Commander Dominguez to lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening, everyone. Everybody put their right hand over their heart and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to its republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry. It seemed like I was supposed to call on, not only Commander Dominguez, but Sergeant Mesidor and Sergeant Allen to do the pledge. So I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to call on you, but you'll have your big moment in a minute. I apologize for that. I'm gonna call on my good friend. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm gonna wish him Happy New Year. Pastor John for the invocation.
Thank you, Mayor. City Council, Mayor, citizens, let us pray. We ask the God of your belief to grant our mayor and city council the wisdom, kindness, and fairness to govern our fair city of North Miami. May God continue to bless our city employees, our police officers, firefighters, and citizens. Thank you, God, for all your blessings. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor John. Nice seeing you again. I haven't seen you in a while, but we'll invite you back again every so often, okay? Thank you. Mr. City Manager, any amendment, deletion, deferral, addition to the agenda for this evening?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I respectfully request that under presentations, that we be permitted to introduce the local preference team on behalf of Alida Partners, LLC. Mr. Joseph Silver is here. And I also want to, under tab L, have an add-on at request for a presentation by the Haitian Lawyers Association.
Okay. Since that is another presentation, so what I'm going to do, rather than put it at top L, I'm going to move that to the top of the agenda and put it under presentation while we have so many presentations that we will be doing this evening.
Yes.
So, agenda is set.
Mr. Mayor,
Clerk, roll call.
may I ask to pull tab K, respectfully pull tab K?
We're going to get there. We're not there yet. Once we get to the agenda. Well, okay. Pull tab K to be pulled. It's not on the consent agenda.
Oh, no. But since we were setting the agenda,
Tab K to be
removed.
Yes,
to be removed. Tab K to be removed. So we no longer have the tab K on the agenda. Tab K has been removed from the agenda. Mr. City Clerk, would you do roll call?
Mr. Mayor, just a minute. I don't think everybody has a copy of the agenda. They probably don't know what is tab K.
All right.
Sure. The tab K was at my request. Discussion regarding the city attorney's position. I no longer wish to have that discussion tonight, so I'm asking to fully remove from tonight's agenda tab K.
Okay, tab K has been fully removed. Mr. City Clerk, would you do roll call?
Vice Mayor Steril,
Here.
Councilman Galvin,
Here.
Mayor Pierre,
Here.
Councilman Marcellus,
Here.
and Councilman Bland. Here. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Okay, let the record reflect that we do have a quorum to conduct the business of the people this evening. I'm going to ask the City Council, please step down because we do have about 5 different special presentations. And I'm going to start with the first one. So please step down so we could take some pictures.
Mr. Mayor, just
Yes.
before you do so, if you allow me, to acknowledge all our Haitian lawyers in the audience. Can you there please stand up and to be recognized?
Oh.
Thank you for coming. I know you guys here just for me.
Well, it's really truly a pleasure to see all of you here because I realized, is it one of you just came from the 11th Circuit? Because I got an email from one of the lawyers that argued a case in the 11th Circuit and actually got a victory. So I'm not sure which one of you. Okay. So again, congratulations. Job well done. Okay. So step down for a minute. Self-defense. Okay. The first presentation of the evening, we're going to call on Master Mario Theodat, and student of the Haitian International Taekwondo Federation, to come forward to accept this proclamation. Master. Okay. Okay, you stand here for a minute. Okay, you guys come forward. The city of North Miami is pleased to issue this proclamation in the honor of National Personal Self-Defense Awareness Month. This proclamation is being given to Master Mario Theodat, a 7th degree black belt in Taekwondo, which was established here in the city of North Miami since 2009. He's teaching over 300 children and adults different self-defense techniques. Master Mario Theodat had participated in and won over 15 fighting championships and has taught over 2,000 students in Haiti, Canada, New York, and North Miami. Haitian International Taekwondo Federation. It's an international sport combat school of martial arts. Students are taught and pledged to always fight for good and not for bad. Some of the techniques incorporated include movements from Taekwondo, Judo, Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu. Okay? Jiu-Jitsu. Thank you. Okay. HITF, involve the self-defense techniques into the daily life routines of their students, allowing them to have a better understanding of avoidable potential conditions. In consideration for all you have done, Master Mario Theodat, I, Andre Pierre, Mayor of this great city, on behalf of the City Council and residents, do hereby proclaim January 2013 to be National Personal Self-Defense Awareness Month in the city of North Miami, and urge all residents to recognize the accomplishment and contributions of HITF International Sport Combat School of Martial Arts in our community. Thank you so much, Master Theodat.
Something to the mayor, maybe.
One more. Come on this side. Thank you again, sir. Truly appreciate you. Okay. See you later. Okay. See you. Bye-bye. The next presentation. This is by the the president of the Haitian Lawyers Association, Ms. Duchesne.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor Pierre. Good evening, council members and staff. I'm here. My name is Stephanie Duchesne Welsh. I'm the president of the Haitian Lawyers Association. Attorney Regine Monestein, who's a past president of the Haitian Lawyers Association, was appointed as city attorney last March. And we haven't had an opportunity to recognize her in her capacity as city attorney for North Miami. And we'd like to do so and say congratulations to Regine, as well as recognize all of her contributions that she's made to the Haitian Lawyers Association, including chairing all of the TPS drives and citizenship drives that we've had even prior to her being appointed as city attorney. Regine is someone that has worked very closely to me as well as the organization in an advisory capacity. We appreciate her hard work and dedication to the Haitian Lawyers Association as well as the Haitian community. And at this time, if all of the Haitian lawyers here would would come forward, please.
Take a picture with Regine. Come on, guys. Regine, now.
Regine is someone who has stood by me personally, professionally, and again continues to support the organization as well as the we do.
How are you? Scott.
Hi. Regine, we support you. We appreciate all of your hard work that you've done. It's very important for everyone to be aware what you do and continuously do for the Haitian Lawyers Association as well as the Haitian community as a whole. And if everybody would come forward, thank you. Absolutely. And we do have past presidents, Richard Champagne, Beatrice Cazot, again, Regine Monestein. I'm going to just jump in for the picture.
Can just the woman still the pictures of Regine? I am sorry, but I am so proud of her. Just the woman. Come back, come here. Come here, Regine. Just the woman. Just the woman. Really? Really, just the woman. Yeah, yes. Oh, big time feminist.
She's a feminist.
Wow.
Women's History Month.
Must be nice.
We're just starting early.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, can we just one second? Can we bring? No. Can we bring Regine Dad, who's a pillar in this community? He is here. Come forward, sir. Okay. He's been in this community for over 30 years, you know, fighting for Haitian rights. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, next presentation, we're going to call on the Chief of Police, Chief Mark Elias. Please come forward. They already gone?
Come on, Ma.
They gone? I'm sorry? They gone? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, I guess
They went to fight crime.
they went to fight crime. Just wanted to say that basically Commander Dominguez was recently promoted to commander here in the city of North Miami. Hispanic American. Emil Holland, I think, is the first Haitian promoted to the rank of sergeant within the police department, and Sergeant Mesidor, who was also promoted. So I guess they already went out. So we want to say thank you to them for all the hard work that they have done here in the city of North Miami. Thank you so much, Chief. The next presentation is Biscayne Lending, Local Preference and Community Participation. This is a very a special program. One thing that I wanted to do when we were negotiating the Biscayne Lending contract, we wanted to make sure that the community get a chance to participate in what's happening on that side. And Section 35, whenever you get a chance, you could go online. You'll see the contract is there. Section 35, basically, to me, all the other sections, we got $17 million, $1 billion would be spent. But I'm really proud of what we have done with Section 35, which I think, the community can really participate. North Miami get a local preference. And we are here to talk a little bit about Section 35. And I'm going to call Mr. Herb Tillman and his team to talk about Biscayne Lending and local preference and how the team had begun to put all the pieces together. Mr. Herb Tillman?
Well, as you've heard, the community benefits section of this lease is the most important section to City of North Miami, in that the way it's structured, it's to give the city residents and the city vendors and contractors the first opportunity at acquiring the work and being employed on Biscayne Landing. I don't know how many of you remember when I gave the presentation when Biscayne Landing was first being entertained by the Swerdlow Group, but we had an economist advisory group pull together the economic benefits that they saw to be shared throughout this city, both directly and indirectly, as well as employing its residents, somewhere to the tune of over $1 billion that this project is going to generate over the next 12 to 15 years. The mayors, the city managers, and our control group main interest is seeing that the lion's share of that money goes through this city first before it gets to the other users and the other vendors. By doing so, we structured a local preference program whereby we actually laid out the protocol that we would follow when we are putting forward our competitive bid process. Mr. Joe Silver was instrumental in drafting it from the developer's side. Ms. Marie Gill and Baron Channer were instrumental in developing it from the actual people that are going to be putting the program in place and administering it in the community. And of course, Mr. Leslie Prudent offered his expertise on behalf of the city and the CRA to see that it works on their side and that all the resources are available to our group in selecting city residents to participate and be trained in how to work on a project such as this, and also to identify and select the vendors and their areas of expertise to give them first preference at receiving any of the bids and any of the contracts that are awarded on that site. The program has just been submitted to the city, 4 weeks ago, Joe? 3 weeks ago, okay. And the city CRA and city staff are going to review the program. They're going to offer their input, which we're most interested in receiving, and what's going to be formally defined in a program such that anybody who understands and reads the program will see how the city vendors and the city residents will be getting first shot at everything that project develops over the next 12 to 15 years. There is a training and education component that goes with that. We're finalizing some of the details to that. We had a job fair. You've heard me talk about that. October 27th. We held a job fair at the sales center. This was not your standard job fair where we have all the vendors with the positions that they are offering available. This was more just to recruit residents from this city and to try and understand two things. What is their areas of experience and what would they most like to be trained in? We had 923 people roll through that sales center in less than 6 hours. We had buses carrying them back and forth to the parking area. We gave site tours. Very strong turnout. We were very pleased. Since then, a database has been developed listing all of these people, their addresses. Leslie has worked really hard to confirm that the residents that resided within the city limits were laid as a separate part of that list, so they will be contacted first. From that list, we've made available to our contractors that are currently working on the site several names of people that can be interviewed for entry-level positions as well as skill-level positions, and some of those people have been hired already. We produced our first report for the last quarter of last year that indicated that we have some 20+% of the people that are employed on that project are City of North Miami residents. The requirement is that we meet 10. We have an aspirational goal of 25%. So we hit 20 in our first quarter that we recorded, so we're very pleased. In addition to that, of the money that was spent, and I don't remember the exact figure, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $2+ million, over 20% of that money was spent with local vendors and contractors in the city of North Miami. So this project is already producing in this program. As we move forward, we're going to make more people available to these contractors that are employed and that are looking to become employed. As they enter our pre-bid conferences, we're making this program available to them so they have an entire resource of employees to choose from that have interests in the field that they'll be employed in for these contractors, to not only to help them meet the city resident requirement, but also to help them find vendors in this city that do some of the things that they have to subcontract out anyway, to focus their resources on this city. I can go on for hours talking about this. I'm kind of proud of it. It's still in its infancy. Our next move now is to identify some 20 people for our first class in educational training program, whereby these people will be trained in the basic skill sets required to go to work on a construction site. The program is somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 weeks long. It'll give them basic OSHA training, personal protective and safety gear, basic knowledge of use of hand tools, measuring devices, etc., to make them employable immediately in the workplace in the construction field. Not only on this job, but any other job within driving distance that they may find work. They will have the basic skills to enter entry-level positions. After that first class of 20 goes through, we're going to identify another class of 20 to follow through, and then take some selected people from the first class and put them through a higher level of training where they can actually start on the road to become mechanical HVAC type of journeymen, carpenters, electricians, all of the things to help people get a better edge and to increase their earning capacity in the workplace. The idea being, at the end of the day, this project is going to put as many people immediately to work that live in this city as it is possible to do, both through identifying them as a resource and also through putting them through training. As we continue, you'll hear me get up here from time to time with updates. Stay focused on some of the local radio programs because we're going to give updates at least quarterly to tell you how we're doing. And at the end of every quarter, we're going to submit a report to the city that's going to not only identify the progress that this program has made during that previous quarter, but it's also going to give the statistical information to let you know how well we're achieving not only our required goals, but our aspirational goals as well. I guess with that, I want to bring up Joe Silver to introduce the team, and in their various capacities, we'll let them say a few words, and then we'll be available for questions afterwards for anybody. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, honorable councilmen, city manager, Mr. Kadan. My name is Joseph Silver. I have accepted a position as the compliance officer for Biscayne Landing. I will tell you that when I was hired by Mr. Tillman, I was given a directive that we are not to cut any corners. We are to do the best as humanly possible to achieve the goals that we're trying to achieve. And I believe that from the outset it is working. We now have contractors who we are awarding bids to based upon invitations to bid and requests for proposals that are City of North Miami local businesses or have agreed to at least employ a significant number of their staff in doing the work that we require presently for the project. The local preference staff, which I'd like to introduce as a group, is led by Baron Channer, who is a member of the Millennium Group, who is a partner in the project. And Baron, if you could come up, and who has been directing the day-to-day operations and the preparation of the plan that will be that has been filed with the city and that we're waiting input on. Baron has, working with him, Marie Gill of Marie Gill and Associates, who has been instrumental in helping us establish an office where people come in on a daily basis, and we keep a log of it, for people who are interested in jobs and following up on getting jobs. And I'd like everybody to come up as I introduce them. And Marie has really been incredibly helpful in drafting the plan for the local preference initiatives that we have filed with the city, and that will be our guidebook in following through with what we have agreed to do in the lease for the project. Working with Marie is Evans Melanie and Cheryl LaFrance, who actually run the day-to-day operations of the office. They are there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 in the evening. And for example, today we needed a company that could help us with our billboard, and our directive was to use a local Miami business that could do that, and they are following through with the city's purchasing department in trying to get a list of those local businesses that can service our needs for our contractors and for the people basically who are going to be leasing the billboard. I have been very, very pleased. I've been a practicing attorney for somewhere around 43 years. I started my career when I was 23 years old with Michael Swerdlow in New York City. Worked with him for approximately 17 years, and have found him most cooperative in this project and most interested in trying to achieve the goals that everybody has agreed to do in the lease that we've done. I'd like to now introduce Baron, who is commandeering all of these efforts. My job is just to make sure that everybody that we deal with complies with what their directives are, files the proper reports. But Baron is the one who is leading the team.
Thanks, Joe. Mayor Pierre, honorable council members, City Manager Johnson, CRA Coordinator Prudent, thank you for the occasion. On behalf of the Millennium Investment Group of North Miami, a member of the development team for the project, I've been actively involved in overseeing the effort itself to make sure that we live up to the commitment that the council, with its wisdom and foresight, sought to impose upon the project, which is to ensure that local residents and local businesses are actively involved in the project in a way that is substantial, and they're provided with access to those opportunities and information about those opportunities. Under the leadership of Jean and Manny Cherubin, businessmen and active individuals within the community, we at Millennium take this responsibility seriously, and as such, we've sought to bring on board experts, individuals who have worked in this space before and understand how to deal with construction projects, procurement issues, and engage in the local public. And so in that vein, we brought on board Marie Gill, M. Gill and Associates, led by Marie Gill, and Marie has pulled together a team that is currently in place and active, so they're actually sitting on the site and on a daily basis, they are accommodating residents who are coming in to express an interest. They are available via phone and email, and I'll introduce Marie shortly just to provide you with some of the details, but I want you to know that the project itself is underway. Within the confines of the project, the team that you see in front of you here, we're focused every day and every minute of the workday on ensuring that local residents, businesses that qualify as local companies, those that are here and those that qualify under the provisions of procurement, are given a fair and decent opportunity to work on the job site under the guidance of Olita Partners and the rest of the development team. So with that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Marie Gill just to present a little bit of the details so that folks can figure out how to contact us should they choose to.
Thank you, Baron. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, city manager, Mr. Prudhomme. This is where the rubber hits the road, the local preference office of the Biscayne Landing project. I am really excited about this because the 23 years that I've been in business in Miami-Dade County has really given me the opportunity to experience a lot of this kind of activity. So I know the challenges that can be with which we can be faced on a project such as this, and we are equal to the task, but we need your help as a community. We want to make sure that the community understands that we are there to assist you. We are there to help in ensuring that if you have an interest in obtaining jobs on the project, or if you are a business owner and you're looking for a contracting opportunity and you need some advice or you need some direction, even if you need some technical assistance, we will be able to assist you. My company operates the Minority Business Development Agency's Business Center, which is a U.S. Department of Commerce program. Under that program, my company, M. Gill & Associates, is able to provide technical assistance to small businesses, particularly minority-owned businesses. We do business plans, loan packaging. We help to source bid opportunities, contracting opportunities, financing opportunities, bonding. I have an architect. Actually, I now have 2 architects on my staff who are able to provide assistance in construction services. So we do bring that program to the table at Biscayne Landing, where we can actually refer businesses that need that kind of, or those kinds of help. We can refer them for that kind of assistance. We are still getting our telephones. Comcast. We have been at this for several weeks since the beginning of December, but please bear with us. We do have a telephone number. It's 786-629-3147, and that will roll into Evan's main phone number. And we have an email, which is jobs@biscaynelanding.com. But we promise that we will be informing you of all the ways that you can contact us. We're going to be doing a quarterly newsletter as well. Herb mentioned that we'll be on radio. We'll also be sending you electronically information about how the project is doing and how the hiring process is going. I'm very excited. I want to thank the Millennium Group for the opportunity to be a part of this project. And I'd like to introduce now Evans Marine, who is an architect, lead AP, and he is really just gung-ho and has come on and is really leading the charge there at the office. So Evans, do you want to come and say a few words and introduce Cheryl?
Mr. Mayor, City Council, distinguished guests, I just want to say that you know, at the local preference office, our main goal is to help the community as much as possible, and we are seeing daily influx of folks coming in and signing up, and this is what we encourage. And I just want to report today we had a new hire from North Miami. We'll be starting on Friday. With that, I want to introduce Cheryl.
Hello, good evening, City Council, City Mayor, residents. I am Cheryl LaFrance. I am the Administrative Assistant. I assist with the job applications. Anyone who needs jobs, you guys can talk to me. I'm the first person you see, so be familiar with my face. Thank you.
Michelle is also a North Miami resident herself.
Okay.
Very proud of that.
Thank you so much, Mr. City Manager, the team, to introduce and this wonderful presentation. If we have any issues, any questions, we'd be more than happy. You could you should send us your information because I think we're on time clock, so we're not going to take any questions, from you. So,
But I have lots.
Well, this is just a presentation, so. Really, we're not going. We weren't going into questions. So, if you want to, Mr. Silver could give you his information. You could talk to him, because this is just a presentation that we wanted to do.
Mr. Silver, are you the person who's in charge of this committee or this organization, or is that Mr. Tillman?
The project manager is Mr. Tillman, who directs all of our activities.
Okay.
And
I work under
you
his
say
direction.
you've submitted documentation to the city. How quickly can we get a copy of that as council members?
It is available. It was sent in accordance with the lease provisions. There is a quarterly report due under Section 7.8 and Section 35 of the lease, which describes our local preference initiatives on a monthly basis.
Okay.
And everything.
Can we get a copy of it tomorrow?
Mr. Manager, can you distribute a copy to us, please?
Yeah, through the mayor, Councilman, we are under review. There are a couple of items that may need to be revised, so it's not a final document.
Okay.
Okay.
And are you local preference, or are you minority preference, or are you both?
We are local preference under the provisions of the lease, where we are to give preference to North Miami local businesses and North Miami residents in hiring.
But there's no such thing as minority preference in a contract. It's local preference that we're talking about.
Yes.
This is a presentation. Mr. Tillman, would you contact the councilman and give him any information that he needs, and the reports that was submitted, Mr. Manager, would you pass it along to him? Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Pam Solomon, city events, announcements.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Pam Solomon, and on behalf of the City of North Miami, I'm delighted to share with you a few highlights of our upcoming events in the next 3 weeks between now and our next council meeting. Starting with this Friday, we have a movie night under the stars event at the Keystone Community Center, Bobby Hammer Field, and that will take place starting at 5:30, and the outdoor movie begins at 7 p.m. It's hosted in conjunction with the Keystone Point Homeowners Association and SGM Films, along with the North Miami Parks and Recreation Department. For more information, you can contact Parks and Recreation at 305-895-9840, or you can also visit our website at northmiamifl.gov/celebrate. On Saturday, this Saturday, January 26th, Mayor Andre Pierre and United Financial Counselors are hosting foreclosure prevention workshops at the Joe Celestine Community Center, located at 1525 Northwest 135th Street. That will take place ongoing from 10:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. Once again, that's this Saturday, foreclosure prevention workshops hosted by United Financial Counselors along with Mayor Pierre. And they will have different topics throughout the sessions. They have seminars on home preservation programs, understanding tax assessment, and how to dispute inaccuracies, and what is mediation and how can it help me. Participating lenders will be there as well to help renegotiate and mediate. We will have Bank of America, Chase Bank, GMAC Home Mortgage, and Ocean Loan Servicing. Please RSVP 786-288-5320. Once again, that number is 786-288-5320. Or for more information, you can contact the Office of the Mayor and City Council at 305-895-9815. Next Wednesday, January 30th, right here in this room in the council chambers, we will host, Mayor Pierre will salute Principals Michael Lewis and Sally Allion We invite you to join us as we honor two pillars in secondary education here in North Miami. Michael Lewis is the principal of North Miami Senior High School, and Sally Alian is the principal of the Alonzo and Tracy Morning Senior High Biscayne Bay campus. Both leaders have demonstrated the passion and vision in the field of education and dedication to the community, and they will receive a key to the city at that event. For details, contact the Office of the Mayor and City Council at 305-895-9815. And once again, we will have our information updated on the web at northmiamifl.gov/celebrate. The North Miami Public Library is preparing for their annual book sale, one of the fundraisers that are hosted by the Friends of the North Miami Public Library to fund ongoing programs and events at the library. We invite you to donate to the book sale, so clean out your closets and bookshelves at home. They will accept donations ongoing through Monday, February 4th of books, DVDs, games, and other materials. For information, you can contact the library directly at 305-895-5535. And we have a few more activities coming up. The Family Fun Night series is an ongoing series that we're hosting on the first Saturday of every month, now through September of this year. Our next event is Saturday, February 2nd. It's held at Griffin Park, 12220 Griffin Boulevard. The time varies each month. We will have it posted on our Celebrate webpage, but we invite you to bring your family out, have a picnic in the park, and just enjoy a night out in the park with music, bounce houses, face painting, and a movie at sunset, an outdoor movie at sunset. The movie schedule and start times will be posted on our Celebrate site, or you can contact the Parks and Recreation Department directly for that as well. And income tax season is rapidly approaching. Free tax preparation services will be offered at 2 sites in North Miami. We will have our VITA site, which is the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance site, in conjunction with the IRS at Sunkist Grove Community Center. That will kick off with an open house on February 5th, which is a Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. Mark that down. At the open house, you will be able to sign up for a future time to come back and have your taxes prepared by IRS certified volunteers, free of charge. And the volunteers speak English, Spanish, and Creole, and they will also be able to answer tax-related questions, be able to give you information about federal tax credits that you or your family may qualify for, as well as help you with the FAFSA form for any college-bound students that you have at home. So for more information, we invite you to contact Maurice Laguerre at our Sunkist Grove Community Center. He's there Monday through Friday from 12 noon until 8 p.m., 305-685-5461, or you can also stop by at the open house February 5th at 6 p.m. at the Sunkist Grove Community Center, 12500 Northwest 13th Avenue. The VITA site will be open every Tuesday and Thursday from February 5th through April 11th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Now, additionally, we also have the AARP Tax Aid Program at the North Miami Public Library. The program is similar in nature. It offers free tax preparation and filing assistance to taxpayers with low to moderate income, with special attention to those aged 60 and older. Assistance is first come, first serve, and they will be open every Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. from February 6th to April 10th. Once again, those are free tax preparation services offered at 2 sites in North Miami, and that information will be posted on our website calendar as well. And last but certainly not least, for any students that are listening at home or perhaps here in the audience, the North Miami Public Library has partnered with the Oscar Thomas Foundation and the Miami Foundation for a Greater Miami to host a Black History Month art and essay contest. The deadline for submission is Monday, February 11th, and you must submit your items in person at the North Miami Public Library at 835 Northeast 132nd Street. The theme for this year is, in your opinion, which African American has made the greatest contribution to American history and why? And there's more information on the contest and the deadline for submission on our North Miami Public Library website at northmiamifl.gov/KnowMe Library. They have, the contest is open for grades 3 through 12. So once again, that's a Black History Month art and essay contest for students in grades 3 through 12. The deadline for submission is February 11th. Please visit our website or contact the library 305-895-5535. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. We're gonna move on to the next item on the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Move has been seconded. Anyone wishes to record or no? Hearing none. Tab D, Mr. City Clerk.
In ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 29 of the city of North Miami Code of Ordinances entitled Land Development Regulations by amending Article 4, Division 4 entitled Special Purpose and Overlay Districts at Section 4-402 entitled Plan Development District, specifically at subsection B entitled Development Standards to include vehicles, vehicle sales, displays to the list of permitted use, providing for conflict, severability, codification, and an effective date.
Move the item.
Has been moved and has been seconded. This is the second reading of Tab D. Second reading of Tab D. Public hearing is open on Tab D. Public hearing still open on Tab D. Public hearing is now closed on Tab D. Councilman Glenn.
Move the item.
It has been moved. Councilman Marcellus.
Yes, I think I have two short questions for this.
Two short questions for the city manager.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. City Manager, on the purpose and intent, before the last paragraph, there is a language where we say new luxury car franchise, and is the dealer is going to be only new cars or just dealers? We're going to have only new car dealers at the site?
In this, yes, it would only be new car dealers.
No car dealers.
New car dealers.
Yeah, can we be a little bit more specific if we want no used car sales allowed on that site? Can we change that language?
I would have to defer to our Community Planning and Development Director whether or not there's provisions or if that would, how that would underlay. You want to not include, this is only applicable to new car dealer lots.
Yes.
I would defer to her expertise on that, if she could answer that.
Maxine Calloway, Community Planning and Development Director. It is intended for new car sales. However, on new car sales, you do have accessories sometimes. Some used car is limited to a limited percentage. For example, if you trade a car in to get a new car, then the dealer is allowed to display and sell that car on the lot. It's limited to, but the intent is just for new car, with the used car being limited accessory use to the new car dealership.
How are we going to make a language that not allowed the used car dealer? I understand it. We probably have a new car dealer since we have a trade-in.
Right.
That's considered a used car. But my question is not to have the used car dealer on that site. That's my question.
What is being proposed is just for new car. It's just for new car.
Okay. The second question, just the last paragraph that says which would only pertain to Biskin Landing site, and is not what we call a spot zoning.
No, sir, and that is in my staff report, not in the ordinance, just to bring your attention to the fact that there's a restriction to PDs that is no less than 30 acres in size. So currently, that's the only PD zone property that we have that is greater than 30 acres in size. However, it does not preclude a PD zone property or a developer or an owner to accumulate 30 acres of property and then to have the same uses allowed on the property.
You sound like improbable.
This is not put the city in any kind of lawsuit and tomorrow, for example, if someone just want to get that
kind of zoning? No?
Now, PD is a zoning designation that's available to anyone who wants to apply. And if you'd like to include a new car dealership in your PD, certainly you can accumulate 30 acres of property.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Galvin.
No questions.
Vice Mayor?
No question, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. City Clerk?
Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Mayor Pierre?
Yes.
Councilman Marcellus?
Yes.
Councilman Bland?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sterian?
Yes.
Okay. Item pass, 5-0.
Tab E.
An ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 15 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Pensions and Retirement by amending Article 4 entitled North Miami Police Pension Plan, Division 5 entitled Benefits, specifically at section 15-132 entitled Death Benefits, to provide beneficiaries receiving a service-connected death benefit with an annual COLA, providing for conflict, severability, codification, and an effective date.
This is badly needed. Thank you, Mr. Manager, for bringing this up. This is basically, I think, a lot, all other cities are doing it, and we finally getting one to provide the COLA for I guess, although it's the beneficiaries, but it's mostly spouse. So, and I see Major Page is back there. His name is on it. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. Councilman Bland?
Yes, we should catch up with everyone else and get those benefits available.
Okay. Councilman Marcellus?
No questions on that.
Councilman Galvin?
No questions.
Vice Mayor?
No question.
Oh, public hearing is open on tab E. Public hearing is now closed on tab E. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Manager?
Yes, Mayor, what was brought to my attention regarding this, and I think that that is clear, this would be retroactive back to 2005.
Okay.
I was trying to look at the language to see if that was clear, but I just wanted to make sure that understanding on record was there, and if it's not clear, then we will.
Okay. Mr. City Clerk?
Mayor Pierre?
Yes.
Councilman Marcellus?
Yes.
Councilman Bland?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sterian?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Measure passes 5-0.
Tab F.
An ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 6 of the city code of ordinances entitled Elections by amending Article 4 entitled Election Administration, specifically at section 6-76 entitled Dates of Elections, to change the dates for runoff elections in accordance with the city charter and state law, providing for repeal, conflicts, severability, codification, and an effective date.
Okay.
So move it.
Okay, it has been moved. I guess this is exactly what we did before. We're just doing it again. Department of Elections requested the additional time. Councilman Marcellus?
Yes, no questions on
Okay,
it.
Councilman Galvin?
What would that make the date of our runoff election this year?
This is what's happening. Usually in our charter, originally, a runoff election would take place relatively 7 days after the regular municipal election.
First Tuesday.
Around 2009, the Miami-Dade County Division of Election requested that the city of North Miami would extend that 1 week period, because obviously a week wouldn't be enough time to adequately take care of election matters. So what happened was in November, or roughly November 2009 or November 2010, we had a referendum on the ballot, and the referendum, the voters of North Miami allowed the council to extend our elections by 3 weeks after the regular election. Unfortunately, around that time, an ordinance was supposed to be introduced so that we can establish that our elections would be 3 weeks after the regular election. It was never done. It was brought to our attention at the clerk's office, and we brought this ordinance before you. But this is long overdue, and now it's going to establish that our runoff election would be 3 weeks after the regular municipal election.
So our regular municipal election is scheduled for May 14th.
Right.
This will put our runoff as
June
Tuesday,
4th.
June the 4th.
That's correct.
Right.
3 weeks thereafter. And any subsequent runoffs would be 3 weeks thereafter.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Vice Mayor?
No, sir.
Okay, anyone wishes to be heard on tab F? Hearing none, it was moved and seconded. Mr. City Clerk?
Now, I just got a motion by Glenn. I didn't get a second
I'll
yet.
second it.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. City Clerk?
Councilman Marcellus,
Yes.
Councilman Glenn,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Steril,
Yes.
Councilman Galvin,
Yes.
Mayor Pierre.
Yes.
And just to kind of put the record straight, the mayor, the one who brought this to our attention, the mayor's very hard on the clerk's office. Whenever we're not doing something right, he's always kind of up my behind. So he the one who kind of brought this to my attention and let us know that we were kind of messing up here. So thank you, Mayor, for bringing this to our
No
attention.
problem. Thank you, Mr. City Clerk. Tab G.
A resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving an interlocal agreement between the city of North Miami and Miami-Dade County, Florida, and substantially the attached form concerning the annexation of a tract of land bordered on the west side by the Biscayne Canal, on the east side by Northeast 4th Avenue, on the south side by Northeast 131st Street, and on the north side by Northeast 135th Street, otherwise known as Area 3, delineating maintenance, operational, and financial responsibilities in conjunction with the annexation of Area 3 to the city of North Miami, providing for an effective date and all other purposes.
Can I get a motion?
Move it.
This is
Second
This is
for
the
questions.
area that we've been on for about a year. Anyone wishes to be heard on tab G? Hearing none, public hearing is closed on tab G. Councilman Bland,
That's okay with me.
okay. Councilman Marcellus.
Yeah, Mr. Manager, this is the only sections on the annexation that we have passed, granted from the county
At this time, yes.
at this time. But you're still working on the others? Or
There are other areas that we are doing a feasibility study on, exploring what the process would be. Some areas require 25% signatures, some require none at all. So this is the area that we've been working on. So it did not require signatures as the others that we're conducted a study.
so in other words, this area right now, is it part of North Miami?
This area is a part of North Miami. There are other pockets that we are working on and are exploring to bring before council.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Councilman Galvin.
This area, if we approve this, will become part of North Miami.
This
Yes.
area will become a part of.
Right now, it's unincorporated Dade.
That's correct.
And is this area so small that they don't have to have a vote of their residents?
That's correct.
Do their residents know that this is coming?
Yes, they do. We have received calls through our community planning and development office, actually in favor of this.
Yeah, no, I'm in favor of it too. I just want to
Sure.
make sure we've done whatever we can so that those residents who find out that their taxes are going up because they're now part of the city of North Miami, and somebody's waving their hand, but I think public comment is closed, so I can't recognize you. But
Go ahead.
But I was just making sure we'd done what we could to notify the residents of this little pocket. I agree. I like the idea of squaring off our boundaries. I like some of the ideas of incorporating areas west and east that would, just sort of make us a better city. But I was just asking those questions about outreach. Thank you. That's all I got, Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I heard the question of Councilman Massey, but I didn't get a complete answer. What happened to the other pocket that we have been working on? Where are we? What is the status?
Area 1 and Area 2.
We're working on signatures. We're working on educating the residents to.
Are we actually active, or we started, then we forget about it?
No,
we're gonna start another time?
we're active.
Okay.
Yes, we're active.
Which are areas 1 and area 2? Is that
One of them is on my district. There's a little bit.
the commercial district? Oh, the donut hole.
Yeah, by the
Okay.
school.
Okay. And what's the other one?
Actually, we're looking at 119th Street, Gratney Elementary. I asked staff recently to look at that area to kind of square off 119th Street. There's just a little small pocket to determine whether or not that requires signature.
Yeah.
Or not.
I know exactly. I grew up on 5th and 121st the first 12 years of my life, and then I moved to, across the street, and now I was officially in the city of North Miami. So I know exactly where you're talking about in there.
So you were born outside the city of North Miami?
Well, I was born in a hospital, but no, it's funny. The first 12 years of my life, I technically lived a block outside of the city, even though I went to Gratney, et cetera, you know, it was technically a block out. So it's interesting. I'm glad to hear now we're going to square off some of those boundaries.
But it's funny, I was not born in a hospital. I mean, true story.
Born in a little log cabin.
No, I mean, my mother was on her way to the mountain, and she went.
The war
right.
story, I think it was
That's a true story, so I'll leave that for another time.
Thank you.
Motion was made, it was seconded. Anyone wishes to record or no? Hearing none, item pass. Tab H.
A resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, providing for approval of a modification to the bifurcated ground lease between the city of North Miami, Florida, the Oats I, at Biscayne Landing Condominium Association, Inc., and Royal Oaks Lane, Biscayne Landing, North Miami, LLC, authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and execute the modification, providing for an effective date and all other purposes.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
Move it.
Okay.
Second for discussion.
Public hearing is open on tab H. Public hearing.
I want to know what date.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. Kevin Burns, 2065 Alamanda Drive. The item that's before you recognizes that there's been a downturn in the real estate market. And as part of the original deal was that those condominiums could only lease out 5% of the building.
Right.
While it makes sense now to amend the agreement to allow more than 5% to be leased out, even though presently about probably 75% is already leased out, to go ahead and take a reduction in the sale price at this point in time, I believe it would be a little foolish, because not only are you allowing them to have more rental, but they want you to reduce the $150 per square foot down to $80 per square foot. And they want to prepay you for the sales today market. Yet, when they start selling them again, and as the notice says, in about 5 years, the value is going up, real estate is starting to increase again. My suggestion would have been to separate them. One, allow them to do more rental at this point in time, yet hold off on the sale, because there's a lot of commitments that have not been met yet by the developer to make the people who own at the Oaks now whole, the pool, the guard gate. There's been some discussions with the trustee about things that are going on out there, or lack of things that are going on. I believe the council should keep this provision of the sale in your back pocket as leverage, allow them to lease out the units that they've already leased out, but hold off on reducing the amount of money that's due to the city. They want to give you $880,000, yet 3 years from now, 4 years from now, it is probably going to be worth more like $1.5, $1.6 million. If you're not in need of the money today, my suggestion would have been to hold off and keep the two items separate. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, council members, city manager. My name is Jeffrey Berman. I'm from the Katz, Barron, Squatero Fast Law Firm, and I'm here tonight on behalf of Andrew Hellinger, who is the court-appointed receiver of the Association for the Oaks, which is called the Oaks One at Biscayne Landing Condominium Association, Inc. Mr. Burns just referred to the trustee. I assume he's referring to my client, Andrew Hellinger, the receiver, and I'm just here to express to the council that the receiver supports this resolution, supports this amendment that's being proposed between the bulk buyer of most of the units, or I should say about half of the units in the building, and the city. And for his part, really for the association's part, the concept that we have is that this is going to allow us to re-energize, it's going to allow the association to re-energize its efforts to add additional amenities and complete the amenities and provide, at least with respect to the amenities aspect of Mr. Burns' points, to provide the amenities that these people, of course, deserve, and that Mr. Hellinger and myself, as his counsel, have been working very hard to get going. And we intend to fully re-energize that, and this resolution would help us do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishes to be heard on tab H?
Hi, my name is George Helmstetter. I'm a vice president for iStar Financial, and I represent the owner of the 160 units. I'd like to point out that it is our intention to move forward and to continue to work with Andy Hellinger in the receivership to actually complete the amenities that the current residents and future residents really look forward to, deserve, and that's one of our primary obligations. Once those amenities are in, hopefully that does attract more residents, it improves property values, etc. The fee that Mr. Burns addressed, the $880,000, that was a fee that we negotiated with the city manager. It was the city manager's requirement of us to pay that up front. We actually preferred to pay it on the back end, so that was a concession that we made up front. Regarding all the other points, the reduction in the sales price from $150 a square foot down to $80 a square foot. Again, market prices have changed. They fell down. They're back up a bit from the bottom. The $80 is meant to represent kind of an average, a bulk average. If you took all the units in the building, prices have moved up, but $80 I believe is a fair price in today's market. That allows us to, at some point in time, actually sell our inventory to someone who would be a permanent resident of the Oaks and a good resident of the Oaks.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else wishes to be heard on tab H? Hearing none, public hearing is closed on tab H. I think, I'm glad to hear from the two of you that, the guard gate, guardhouse, the pool, it's, top priority. It's top priority for all of us. We've been talking about this for the last 3 years, and we gave the land, and it looks like, there's going to be some movement on that issue. I don't think, any of us here would have any objection with, changing the use from, leasing to the selling part of it. I think, the market, that's what we got at this moment. But, the issue is, which I think the manager negotiated, how much money we should be getting. And I'm not sure, if the market calls for $80 or $90 or $100. This is something I think I leave up to the experts. And, what happened if, the market is stable now, but we don't know what may happen in 3, 4, 5 years down the line. Maybe it's going to stay the way it is. Maybe it's going to go up higher. I mean, we all are predicting that it's going to go up, and maybe, as it was said, maybe it's going to be, $1.4, $1.5 million rather than $800,000 that we're getting now. Either way, I mean, I think, although, that's what you negotiated. You could have gotten a little bit more, perhaps, but I think what this does is actually making the residents whole. We've been talking about this for a very long time, and it seemed to me that the two got together and they say it's going to get done. Then, if there is, an agreement on that, and I think this is the best way to proceed. But the first part, I don't think there's an issue for any of us here. I would think so, but it looks like it's the price is $800,000, or is it going to be $1.5 million? Councilman Bland?
Yeah. Mayor Burns, I agree with for two reasons. The market is improving and improving rapidly, and there's going to be new facilities there, including a pool and recreation area. I would delete the $80 determination for price and bring it and keep it and maintain it at 150. Matter of fact, in several years I'd increase it even further. The market is going to be very strong, and there's no doubt in my mind. And secondly, if we negotiate for something, we have to stand behind what we negotiate, and we maintain that. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Marcellus?
Mr. Johnson, do we have any pending sale right now?
Through the mayor, councilman, we have attempted to entertain 2 possible sales to no avail, at which time we approach Mr. Homesteader, George Homesteader from iStar, and we tried to look at this. Again, we're trying to make people whole. So what we presented them with was an opportunity to purchase at a price that we felt was reasonable. I did provide in the council report the average, and keep in mind that average is based on individual sales and not bulk sales. But the whole idea here with Mr. Hallinger was that we tried to reach a level where iStar has to do 2 things. We're asking them to buy bulk, and we're asking them to put them in a position that's reasonable for the city, as well as themselves to be able to fulfill their obligation that they're working out with the rest of the residents. So it was a managed median point for everybody. This is as close as we have gotten since I've been the manager to try to come to some resolution with this. So those other pending sales never panned out. There was a 3rd group, but again, the whole issue is $150 a square foot. So, and trying to get the Oats what they wanted, the residents. So $150 a square foot and looking at those amenities, it's not going to happen today. So this is as close as we're going to get, I feel, to do that. And I did not want to put them on the back end in giving us money, because we need to get that money. It's best to get it now. Why wait to agree on a square footage and get that money later?
Okay, as a realtor, I'm a realtor. Do you understand the real estate is comparables and market driven? You understand that part?
Yes.
Okay, based on the report that we have from planning and development, right now, we're not talking about the $150 per square foot. We're talking about $121. That's the average of it. If right now that's the market right now for it. That's the comparable, and it still come out like 1.306, almost $1.4 million. And by selling it right now at $80 per square foot, I think we reduce the price. The only thing that things does to the city is cut our revenues. Number one, we have to get 4% on the sale price of the units. Right. By cutting this thing down, we're going to get less money. And second of all, we're going to get less taxes from the unit, because the property appraisal, when they make the tax value on it, is going to be less. In this sense, I don't think this thing is profitable for the city at all, and anyway is a deficit for us. Right now, the market is not at the bottom at this moment. The market start moving a little bit, okay? And since it start moving, and it's in our best interest to keep what we have right now and hold on to it until the market get better, and then the city get more money from it. 4%, get it, let's say that 4% for $100 is $4. Now, if you get it for $80, is way less, and then the taxable value is going to be less than that. And in a sense, for me, I don't think it's very profitable for us at all.
Through the mayor, Councilman Marcellus, I think that there are a number of objectives that we have to try to obtain here. Number one, we're trying to get a buyer that will provide amenities. And when you say the taxes, this price will be going bulk sales, sort of wholesale to iStar at that price, who then will resell them at some point in time. However, the objective is not just the units. We could sell the units for $150. They can try to sell them for $150, which we know that's not going to happen. Is put them in a position to be out of, to not be within the guidelines of the current lease. So that's why we have so many rentals. That's one. Two, if they could sell them for $150, they would have done it. If they could sell them for $110, they could have done it. They need to be in the position where they can get them at a price and such that it is beneficial to them so that they can help the residents out there. So we have several objectives that we have to do. We're not there as a city just to get the 150 square foot and leave the residents go. Those residents want to be made whole. So we were trying to find a buyer that it would be beneficial to them on a bulk sale so that they can be in a position to put those amenities there.
But Mr. Johnson, according to the report from Maxine, I'm not talking about $150. I'm talking about $121. That's the market value today. That's her comparables. This is the market value today. I said, even though we sell them at $121 per square foot, it's still going to be about $1.4 million. So let's not go back to 150 because the market right now is not 150 according to her comparables. It's $121. Still is a big chunk of money right now at the market. That's where I'm coming from.
Through the mayor, Councilman, you are right. However, if we put a buyer that is only going to be able to sell at the current market value, then there is no profit margin for them to be in a position to put the amenities in that we're trying to get out there for the Oaks. So we did realize that there is a reduction in the square footage according to the market value, but you also have to put them in a position where they can make money to put in those amenities.
Listen, I want the city to make money. I want that money too myself. I want the city to have the money. But I just want this thing to be very clear when I'm voting on it and I vote on something that I really understand. In your opinion, do you think this is the best way for the city to proceed and with this deal?
If we did not have the objective with the Oaks to make them whole and to get this project where it should have been, I would say sell it for the max. But we've tried that. We have not been able to bring in a buyer out of the two buyers that we had, even a potential third one. They didn't even try to counter offer the 150. So it's because of the situation with the Oaks. So based upon the situation with the Oaks and our objective to make our residents out there complete and whole, yes, I feel that this is the best at this time.
There's another question pop up in my mind. Like I said before, if we do not have a pending sale, you say no. That's correct?
This is not you can consider this to be a sale because what we would be doing is selling to iStar. All of the 160 units, we'll be selling them to iStar.
In that case, we already have a sale. If we have a sale, the sale is there right now, and then we cut our price. I think we just cut the city pockets. We just take the money out of the city and give it to someone else. Is not what I believe it is?
Through the mayor, Councilman, again, we've had two buyers that came to the table. They did not go through. This is a buyer who is the current bank that has the properties. So we approached that bank to buy the units. So yes, this is a sale, but we're not cutting our sales. We have no buyers. No one else wanted to buy these units. No one, especially dealing with what we are trying to accomplish with the other residents at Oaks with the amenities. There is none. This is it.
Mr. Johnson, I trust you to vote on that issue based on your information. Let's say that if you give it for $80 per square foot, don't you think tomorrow we'll have sale just like that?